Donald Trump arrived at this G7 summit fresh from his 80th birthday celebrations and bearing news of a new agreement with Iran to end fighting. Here's some of what he said.
The main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that. The strait is already partially opened. Now, on Friday, it'll be completely opened.
Now, other G7 leaders have cautiously welcomed this announcement and they've thanked the mediators involved, but emphasis here on the caution. They will be pressing Donald Trump for answers on some of those claims he made. So much is still unclear about the content of this memorandum of understanding. Iran's messaging is very different, and the really difficult diplomacy of trying to hash out a broader deal, well, that all still lies ahead. Some G7 leaders were very hesitant to commit to lifting their own sanctions on Iran, for example.
As long as there is no behavioral change, you cannot lift the sanctions because of human rights violation and weapons of mass destruction.
And there's also real concern that Lebanon will be left in the lurch.
Die Vereinbarung muss auch im Libanon halten. Wie wichtig das ist, haben wir ja auch gestern wieder gesehen.
One source I spoke to here put it to me like this: it's more important, they said, that there's a good deal with Iran than a quick one. Now that might seem obvious, but it speaks to a very real fear here in Europe that the US president might be so keen to prove he's ended this war that he may be willing to accept a deal which does little to move forward any of those core questions, for example, around Iran's nuclear program. Still, G7 countries are clearly keen to show their part of the solution here. French President Emmanuel Macron has spoken about his willingness to spearhead a defensive naval mission to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz alongside some other countries, including the UK, even if Donald Trump says the US won't need much help with that. Now, this US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding should be formally inked just about an hour's drive from here in Geneva on Friday, but watch this space because recent history has showed us a lot could happen between now and then.